When Kevin Edwards left the Marshall Police Station on Wednesday in police custody heading for the Magistrate's Court, it appeared as though he had contracted mumps. His mother, however, told us that the swelling on his face was the result of physical force exerted by the police during his arrest at the house in Bishop's Gap where the 4-month-old baby was stabbed.
When I arrived at the scene, when I went upstairs in the house, I actually saw one of the police officers jumping on his neck. When I tried reaching out to him, another officer was trying to pull me down the steps, and my son was crying and said, well, you know, why y'all doing that to my mother? And it was really heartbreaking to see what they were doing to him. I know that he did something wrong, but any child that's in their right mind will not do something like that.
The mother also reported receiving a message from a police officer indicating that had he, the officer, been present, the situation with her son would have been much worse.
I was on the phone. One of the officers called out to me, my lady, is that your son? I said, yes, that's my son. He said, you're lucky. I was not there I was not on the scene at the time because you would have to buy a bag for your son. So I said to him, what did you say, officer? He repeated himself. Later in the night, when I went to the hospital, I called him to caution him. I said, officer, you said something to me, and it was really bad to say as an officer. Then he started speaking at the top of his voice and said, I'm not afraid to tell you again, if I had arrived at the scene at the time, your son, you would have to buy a bag for him. And I can tell you my name.
And according to the mother, the officer proceeded to identify himself. She says as a parent she feels hurt because of the many pains she has gone through in dealing with a mentally challenged son. Miss Edward made it clear what the young man did was wrong, but she says he needs help. When 26-year-old Kevin Edward appeared in court, he was denied bail and the prosecution requested a psychiatric evaluation. He told the court he had no intention of harming the child, although eyewitnesses reported that he had threatened to do so and to kill himself afterward. According to Edward, when officers rushed on him, he and the child fell and the baby girl was accidentally cut with the knife he had in his hand. He told the court he himself was cut with the same knife in the melee. The case has been adjourned to the 22nd of January 2015. For the DBS News World, Kendal Burton reporting.